Hello YouTube peers and welcome to another episode of What Did You Miss? Episode 11. So what do we have today? This week? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 highlights for Mario Maker 2. These are mostly just individual courses. We got a little bit of John Numbers Super World stuff here. So that's a lot of these. Wait a minute, there's more like 9 or 10. 10? Yeah, 10. Wait, no, 9? No, 8? I don't know. Who's counting? Okay, I might have gotten 8 days and 8 hours ago mixed up. Anyways, let's start with this one. Oh! So I was playing Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Probably don't want to be watching this at 2x speed. So there was this land we call Zone 6. This was really difficult and very obnoxious. The enemies were annoying, the music was annoying, but I eventually got through it. This is one of the bosses. It might have been the final boss for this area. Looks like I had to use a continue because I was possibly running out of time. Then I had to try to optimize that, or oh no, we used up a continue in the next area maybe. Not sure. I just barely made it. I had to do it with only 3 rings. Okay, so we entered the new zone, which is called, I think it's like Mushroom Hill Forest. No, it's just Mushroom Hill Zone. That's it. Anyway, so there's a lot of unexpected enemy types in this area. Like that robot dragonfly, for example. Those yeah, so there was a lot to squeal and holler about as I was getting surprised nearly constantly in this game. Sonic keeps getting entangled, unfortunately. This game is more about surprising the player a whole lot. I mean, this particular land was more so than just setting the player up in the most evil traps possible. But I think in the next act, I got stuck somewhere, ended up timing out, which is unfortunate. So we actually had a different color mushrooms this time. We had orange ones earlier, and now we have blue. And those entangling vines are a different color now. They're not green anymore. Same with the ground, like the leaves or whatever. And then there are these wind monsters. They for some reason they look like weather panels or whatever. This was the part that I was getting stuck at. This part took me a while to get through, not because I didn't understand what I needed to do, but just because it was hard to do. Later I realized, if I could just go around, which is probably what I eventually did, or at least on the next life I definitely did. And then we have some green mushrooms, and then back to orange again. So here's boss fight. This boss fight actually doesn't look too tough. It is pretty exciting, but I didn't have any lives. I only used 2 of them, I think, on that. Anyway, yeah, he was talking about PC port being hated for some reason. I'm not sure why, but anyway, that's enough of that. Maybe it's just me. I mean, who knows? Okay, so I was looking around for first clears, and I found Ant Valley, 5-4, that is. So somebody's Super World it's being planned for, I guess. This was one of the newer courses, I think. Anyway, this hadn't been cleared yet, so I wanted to give it a try, and this is the highlight of me failing to beat it within the first, like, 7.5 minutes or so of me trying to play it. And then I moved on to continue to do viewer levels, and then I came back to this later. So if you want to check that out, you can do that. And then for the video where I actually cleared it, that would be this one. So as you can see, it was pretty easy to screw up and die. There were quite a few difficult jumps here and there. This part was annoying. This was the most annoying part of the level. Because on the smaller ant, you have to control where you're going a lot more with the D-pad. It's kind of a problem. I waited too long at first. And I tried to squeeze in between those two. Yeah, and anyway, once I got done with that trick, the level was over. So if I'd kept the mushroom the whole way through, I'd get the top of the goal. Anyway, alright, so what else do we have? We've got October 13th highlight of Mega Neptunia, blah blah blah. So this was what, like the third day I was streaming this. I actually wasn't spending much time playing it each day because I wanted to play a variety of games. Anyway, this was one of the sentient creatures that we were wondering about the first couple of streams. We finally got to meet one of those. And we did a little bit of wandering around. They have like these strange hallways that don't have anything in there, so I guess it's just decoration or something. It's kind of strange, but whatever. And we have like these really powerful pipes that you can fight as well. I mean, at least they have a lot of hit points. I'm not sure if they're really powerful. I mean, yeah, we have like these weird enemies like pictures. Like what? It's so strange. Yeah, really kind of unusual monster design. I honestly have to say, so far I prefer the monster designs in Super Neptunia RPG to this game in particular. I'm not sure if they ran out of ideas or just got lazy or what their deal is, but why would they make us fight 2D enemies? Maybe that's something that they have done in the past. Maybe it's like a meme, like it's a 3D game and we're fighting 2D enemies because, you know, it's fun to bash on 2D. But the thing is, the story of Super Neptunia RPG would make us think that that's not so cool. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. It's just, I don't know what the deal is. It seems weird. It's almost like it would biased to, you know, to hate on the game of the other type, right? And so they were like speaking out against bias with the story in that particular game. So that's why it's a little bit confusing why they even are there in the first place. But anyway, so next highlight would be, oh yeah, the Mario and Rabbids in Kingdoms Battle. So in this, our main character is actually this robot. Let's see, in the introductory video, I don't think we had ears, did we? And we were an assistant to whoever this person is. She says she's on the cover of this magazine, but it's kind of hard to see her because there's a lot of glare, as you can see. Anyway, yeah, he doesn't have ears right now. Anyway, that's who we are. We're role-playing as Beepo, so we wander around, and then Mario and the Rabbids fight for us. supposedly we can recruit more characters, but for right now it's just the 3 of them that we fight with. And so, actually, we have Toad with us a little bit, but he doesn't fight with us, and he ends up leaving us quickly afterwards. So you can upgrade your weapons and stuff. Basically, it kind of reminds me of Final Fantasy Tactics a bit. So we haven't gotten very far in the story, but we're kind of like ended on a cliffhanger where it sounds kind of like maybe like we're going to go rescue Luigi or something like that. Because we already went and saw Princess. We've confirmed that these rabbits that are following us are in fact like some sort of, I don't know, dress up cosplayers or some nonsense like that. So anyway, they're not the real people, is the point. Anyway, next highlight, we got a level head highlight. So this was actually like around 3 hours or so, a little over that, of me just playing level head. And at first I was showing off one of my levels, and we started getting some viewer levels, and they kept sending me zipper levels. So that's why this highlight says mostly zipper levels from Discord associates. So this is one of the streamers, one of his levels. He sent it to me, and then some other viewers sent me levels too. This one was kind of frustrating. It actually had a zipper in it, but it was a variety of power-ups that you were to use. Can I jump on that guy? Then we had this level, which was really irritating. So I could zip past him, but then I couldn't zip past the next monster. It'd be too big or whatever. And anyway, yeah, I just got confused because I didn't know where I was supposed to go. It was basically a maze. And there's an area in particular somewhere, I think it was probably in this course, where there was like Elizumi like being really noisy. It might have been the next one from him that I played. Oh, the extra hit point thing was called the zoo? No, it was this one. Okay, yeah, this one was really long, and it's hard to remember where I was in the course, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it's this one. So I spent a lot of time trying to do impossible or nearly impossible things. This is basically the sum of what was going on when I was playing these kinds of courses, and I got pretty frustrated, but I still learned. I learned some stuff, so it's okay. I'm pretty sure you were intended to skip that battle, but I guess you could do that battle if you wanted. But it's kind of unrealistic because there's such a swarm coming after you. Now this level was really pretty. I liked this one. I was given some compliments, of course. Well, I was talking about how my level is inspired by the house rather than like the outdoors or whatever this is. I showed off some of my courses I was working on. I mean, back to viewer levels. I actually, at one point or another, spent a little bit of time working on one of my levels. It was probably towards the end. Yeah, this one right here. Anyway, this level was really good. I liked this one. It was really clever design. I feel like there's potential for sequels for that, for sure, which I'd like to see. After you're done with it, it makes you like platform across all these. The main thing I don't really like about it is these signs are kind of annoying to look at. Like, they kind of like give you the player too much information. It's just ugly, but you know. I think he said something like he put them there in order to make it easier for colorblind players, because I guess what happens is unless you have a 2x2 wide hard light or 3x3 wide hard light or whatever I'm trying to say, unless they have one of those, I guess they can't see the icon for the color. Supposedly, otherwise why would you put the sign there? I don't know. But anyway. So I was working on this. We got a long ways to go to finish this gauntlet, probably, but I'm going to throw out some concepts onto it, and I could reshape it later. And then we were playing Ben's level, which was, I think, the last zipper level that I got that day from a viewer. Ben's got some pretty good levels. I thought that it was clay, but it was lead, and so it was confusing me. He had asked me for feedback, so I went back and gave him feedback. And then we played one more level, and that was it. Okay. So I spent a bit of time working on the new red coin collecting 21. So it's just kind of like getting a feel for how some of the early parts play and reviewing what I need to change and trying to figure out what do I want to work on. And I ended up settling on these sections with the coins here, with the wood. So that's what I ended up working on. So I put in some thwomps, and I even installed a snake block to take out the thwomps in case the players don't want to. I mean, if they want to get all the coins, but they don't want to make it super hard mode to do so, then they can do that. Anyway, and then we have the second day I was playing Mega Dimension Neptunia, and this was about an hour, and most of it was just me sitting around reading stuff. There wasn't really much battling to be had. And I was also analyzing the combat system though and stuff, like looking at challenges and seeing how our characters could get boosts, that kind of thing. Let's take a look at the other Mega Dimension Neptunia highlight. So this was the first day, and so here I was definitely taking things pretty slow. I actually spent 3 hours playing it, but I didn't really get very far. Of course, because I was listening to it in Japanese, I was trying to like piece together differences between the English and the Japanese versions of the game. Anyway, we only have those 3 characters that we're battling with right now. I would like to recruit more, but for now, this is all we have. And so, because I haven't recruited all that more, I haven't been particularly excited about just running through the game pretty quickly. She's got a really nice looking transformation, of course, but nobody else can transform yet, so not the most exciting point in the game yet, but we'll get there eventually, I suppose. Anyway, let's look at a couple more non-John highlights, and we'll take up the John ones for last, I guess. So I was playing a Super Mario World survival room course. This one took me a while to beat it. It says 17 minutes, but that was actually like a second round of me playing. As you can see, the level's kind of long, so I didn't die a huge number of times. I actually got to the checkpoint pretty fast, and I started failing towards the end, but I got there eventually. It took me way more deaths than that, apparently, to beat it. Unless, I might have highlighted the wrong spot. Did I? No, I didn't. I eventually beat it. This was the final room. And just hanging around on the very far left seems to be the strat to deal with that room. Anyway, some of those rooms were really tricky. This one was the worst because it was really annoying because I had to listen to those guys shoot their lasers. Could have been worse, I suppose, but anyway. It was a pretty fun level, otherwise I wouldn't have highlighted it. Oh, and then they had this one, which was kind of obnoxious. I think it's supposed to be inspired by getting over levels theoretically, except, well, I mean, it kind of reminds me of some other games that are older than that, which is why I kind of cringe a little bit when people talk about a level being, like, based off of getting over it. Anyway, in this particular room, like, you can lose a lot of progress pretty quickly. Sometimes you can prevent yourself from losing that progress when you fail, but it's not the easiest thing to do. Anyway, I think there were only 4 challenge rooms in total, so it was actually not that bad of a level to grind through, and I think I got through it all in one session of 26 minutes. That's not so bad. Like, actually, I died how many times? Like, very little. Like, look at that. See, look. It just, you end up timing out, right? But, and I thought I was going to get away with being able to clear it before 6 deaths happened. But the room that I'd saved for last, I believe it was, actually was quite lethal compared to the rest of the rooms. Not that you can't get yourself killed on some of these rooms. Like, I'm sure you can get yourself killed on this one if you really wanted to, but, I mean, why would you want to die on it? You can keep on practicing instead of use time dying. Anyway, so this was the room that was somewhat dangerous because you could get stuck in the middle and the fireball would hit you. That's basically what was happening. So as you can see here, I've died 5 times. Skip ahead, I've died 6. Died 7. So I think it took me 7 deaths to beat it. So that wasn't so bad. Anyway, pretty interesting course. One of those not as lethal as others courses, basically, for the most part. And also a Red Coin Challenge Room course, which the people don't build enough of. Alright, so we had John Number Super World, 5th map. I was telling a story. So we had a variety of levels, basically, from John. I was doing a shout out there in the corner. Anyway, I spent about 38 minutes or so doing this. I may have had to, like, get away from the computer for a little bit. Oh yeah, did someone, like, redeem, like, go take a shower? Maybe. I don't know. Looks like, I'm not sure. Anyway, so yeah, this is what his levels look like. I plan on compiling, like, all of his levels from the Super World and putting in one big old YouTube video. But for now, we just have these highlights. The stack was kind of interesting. I wouldn't have minded trying to jump over Damage Boost 3, but apparently it gave you a star just in case you're small, which was surprising. I figured, okay, let's go for it. Let's grab the goal. Anyway, then we have a map 6 highlight, which is about 35 minutes. Make us play as Link for a bit. This Link level was pretty good. He gave us too many swords though, but other than that, it was fine. And then there's this, where we have Airship 3D World, which is one of my favorite tile sets. Airship in general I like. And there's this place with SMB Castle. For the most part, like, his levels weren't too tough, but there's going to be, like, exceptions here or there in a few places. Mostly when he makes longer ones, it might take longer to play, more so than it being particularly hard. But anyway, Plus, I was doing all the optional stuff too, so I think if I were to try to speedrun it, obviously, then I would be choosier about what levels I play instead of playing all of them. As you can see here, for this particular map, you only have to clear like 3 levels, but instead I clear all 5. And you get your choice between like 2 or 3 different levels at a time, so it's pretty cool. And we had this level, this with the slow moving mushroom. I remember watching them build this on stream at one point or another. I was like, yeah, I mean, if you're gonna do infinite power-ups, you might as well do it in a gimmicky way like this, where the player can't just get it immediately, right? You have to wait some decent amount of time. Seems like a cool idea. Not sure if you've seen somebody else do it or came up with his own, but probably a mix of both. It doesn't really matter. Anyway, and then for map 7, we had just one course, surprisingly, so this is less than 9 minutes. And this was a level that I already played before, so it didn't take me very long to beat it again. It was a pretty big level, but as you can see, I died like once, and then we were done. Oh. And that's pretty much it for this week that's gone by. Stay tuned. Next week we'll probably have another one of these. What did you miss episodes?